I'd like to welcome you for these few minutes to take time to reflect on the life and the homegoing of God's dear servant, Dr. Ravi Zacharias. I'm sure the entire Christendom is well aware of this fact that the Lord called him home on the 19th morning. Personally, as I reflect that which I have followed Dr. Zacharias, the first time I heard him preach was back in the early 80s when he came to the Wesley Boys Junior College Stadium. And he preached there for 3 to 4 nights. And I believe I recall correctly, there was an extension by a day or two. The meetings were extended. That was the first time I heard him preach. Then each time he came back to the Twin Cities, I made extra effort to go and attend his meetings. Number one, I remember at the Mehboob College grounds when there was the release of his autobiography called From East to West. Then I recall attending another program at the high-tech city in the year 2013. Then, of course, the closest that I've been with him was in the year 2014. We had hosted a meeting, a public forum inviting the educated people, especially the doctors and other professionals. And we held this meeting at the Park Hotel. And that's when we met him personally, both on the day of the event and the day prior to that. We had a great time sitting around a meal, and he was so open with us. He cracked jokes with us, and one of the things that I recall was the restaurant in which we were having lunch was known as Amara, Amara. And the joke he said, or the joke he cracked was, if we add a letter D to it, it becomes Damara, and we will all can go out free without having to pay the bill. So he was so at ease with us that afternoon. One of the things that personally impacted me was that statement where I've written by way of a written tribute as well. He talked about a church somewhere which was going to have a huge celebration in 2024. And we are talking here in 2014. And he's made this statement, the statement to the effect, he said, what makes that people think, those people think that I'll be alive till then? Now, beloved, take it in whatever sense you would like to. Call it a premonition, call it a feeling, call it an intuition. But ever since he made that statement stayed with me, only to express the humility of the great man of God who was willing to accept his own finitude. He was cognizant of the fact we are mere mortals and God can call us at any time. And as I've written in that written text, he was always prepared to meet God. And so, beloved, as 2020 dawned upon us, and I think that 2020 has come on with a great package of difficult times. On the one hand, the world is facing the lockdown on account of COVID-19, the coronavirus. And it was around that time Dr. Zacharias went for a back surgery. And that back surgery eventually revealed or shown the fact that he had cancer. And when they went in to treat him for that cancer, that's when things went out of our hands. And we don't say out of our hands, but everything in God's timing. God has called him home on that 19th morning. Beloved, what I learned from this man of God is this: no matter who we are, what our accomplishments may be, he has always taken time to be a people's person. The best two examples that I can give you guys is his time that he has taken to be with my daughter and Kenny, my son. He has taken the time and the trouble to stay in touch with these two young people literally on a one-on-one basis. He would write to them personal notes, especially to my daughter. And by the way, I must tell you this, when my daughter was blessed with a firstborn son, she gave him Ravi as the second name. The second name, Daniel Ravi, is what she gave. And when she communicated that she had named her son Daniel Ravi, he said, I'm not sure about Ravi part, but he said, nobody can go wrong with a name like Daniel. And then, of course, I also remember with gratitude, there is a photograph in my office on my desk where my son is standing between Dr. Ravi Zacharias and Dr. Irvin Lutzer, the emeritus pastor of the Moody Church. I'm blessed by their love to both my children. And in fact, that 2014 event which I brought to your attention, that public forum we had at a hotel park, I believe was purely because, literally for his love for Karen, I think he bypassed all norms and he accepted to come, and it was a great blessing. I have been blessed by reading his books, especially East to West. I'm not much of a reader or a writer, but I always would love to listen to his videos or his programs that come on the YouTube and on his website. I heard any number of them. All I can say is this, having heard and listening to this great man of God, definitely I've been blessed as a pastor. And one thing, if one can put into practical effect, is as a pastor, I've learned not only to preach well, but to stay connected with the common man. And the last one that I remember was, he always recounted one of that incidents that took place in Delhi, where a beggar blessed him with the greatest blessing, he would say to this effect, the greatest benediction I received ever was from a beggar in Delhi when he gave him 100 rupees. So that's what is most important, that we care for the people, take time to be with them. And I pray that this small recounting would be a blessing to my listeners today, and we would be able to put such things into practice in our life. God bless you.